Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is the District 95, and today is not exactly a regular stream. Today is really just a small discussion about a couple of things. First things first is the issues that I've had with streaming the last few days or so. So, my last stream was my last Twitch stream was what, March 12th, and it was even exactly a regular stream. As I say again, it was more of a daily update, and I remember stating that I would stream every day from the 14th through the 17th, and I didn't stream any one of those days. And the biggest reason is I've been dealing with a nagging shoulder injury that's really uh, it it's the kind of thing that can inconvenience day-to-day living. Like, let me show you something. Like, you see how I can do my right arm like this and like this, and um, like this and stuff, and it works just fine. Hold on, let me check something really quick. Okay, there we go. Now with my left arm, when I try to do that, it chicken wings basically. I can't really lift it up whether I go front, back, or to the side. So to really explain that, what I've been dealing with since May of last year is bronchiolitis. And bronchiolitis, a form of peripheral neuropathy that affects the chest, shoulder, arm, and hand. Peripheral neuropathy is a disease characterized by pain or loss of function in the nerves that carry signals to and from the brain and spinal cord. CRS, central nervous system, to other parts of the body. It is a fairly rare condition. Bronchial neuritis is also referred to as bronchial neuropathy or bronchial plexus injury. When acute bronchial neuritis occurs, the damage to the bronchial nerves comes on suddenly and unexpectedly without being related to any other injury or physical condition. So, to explain that part, going back to October of 2020, I strained my shoulder working out and went to the emergency room for it to see what was wrong. And you know, after they after they checked me out, you know, diagnosed it as a strain, and I go to physical therapy. I think I was given a referral for physical therapy. It's been a while, so I don't remember exactly, I don't remember all the details 100% exactly. But again, strain my shoulder, emergency room, start physical therapy. So I do that for about 6 to 8 weeks, get out, and things are fine. Then we get to January of 2021, I strain my shoulder again. So after that, go to the emergency room again, get it checked out. Then I have to go into more physical therapy. Do that for another 6 to 8 weeks. So about March and April, things are fine. And then May shows up, and I start dealing, I start to get this really sharp, sometimes dull pain in my shoulder, and it would radiate down my entire left arm. So there were days where my arm was just in pain. So from there, I had to go get my arm checked out again. And I went to, because I live in Washington, D.C., so I went to Washington Hospital Center. I went to Where else did I go? I went to George Washington Hospital. Those were the two places I went to get it checked out. So from there, and talking to the doctors and physician assistants, um, I got to schedule MRIs. Uh, what am I thinking of? No, X-ray first. Sorry about that. X-ray, MRI. Oh, am I getting it right? Yeah, X-ray, MRI, and then an EMG, which came on later down the line last year. So I get the results of those three tests back, and everything comes back normal. But something is still wrong with my arm. So I have to go back to physical therapy. And I'm going to physical therapy for two hospitals. I'm going to one I'm going to one with George Washington Hospital and for Washington Hospital Center. And then on top of that, I find out sometime in September, because I was working a Nats game in August, and I had to leave because my back was in a lot of pain. So sometime in had to schedule a doctor's appointment, got it, and I got an X-ray for my back, and it comes back that I think it's an acute stress fracture. I spelled stress wrong. Okay, so lower spine. This is unrelated to the arm, but I'm just spondo spondily spond I can't pronounce that. Spondyliosis. I think that's how you say it. Don't take my word for it. As a stress fracture through the pars and interarticulus. Okay, through the pars interarticulus of the lumbar vertebrae. The pars interarticulus is a thin bone segment joining two vertebrae. It is the most likely area to be affected by repetitive stress. This condition is fairly common and is found in 1 out of every 20 people, and this comes from Johns Hopkins Medicine. So, I've dealt with back issues since high school. I'd say my junior year of high school. So this goes to early 2013. So, like, in addition to what I've been dealing with my left arm, I've also been dealing with a stress fracture in my back and that healing up and the pain that results from that. Now, there are days where my back is fucking killing me. And there are days where my back responds just fine. So I can manage that. But to really get back to what I was talking about initially, my shoulder. So, acute bronchial neuritis. And this is what I'm dealing with. This type of bronchial neuritis occurs unexpectedly on its own. It is characterized by sharp, severe pain in the nerves of the bronchial plexus, followed by weakness or numbness. The cause of acute bronchial neuritis is unknown. And I don't know why this started. I think maybe it was just the strain I had on my left shoulder from having injured it twice already in basically a span of 3 months. But to go from January to May, it leaves a lot of questions that I still haven't answered. So, you know, I've tried working with it, and you know, there was one time, if not earlier this past week than last week, where I had my arm in a sling on the street, and I had just gotten back from work, or I was about to go to work. So it may have been a daily update, but you know, there are times where I have to, if I'm not at work, there are times where I have to put my arm in a sling, and I definitely have to put it on. Yeah, I have to put it in the sling at work. Like, that's straight up. That's from the doctor. But you know, while I don't have it on right now, I'm gonna have to put it on a little bit later because I know that if I let my arm hang, like, say if I let it hang like this to the side, it's gonna get to the point where I can't even move the arm. Like, I don't have much movement now, but it's gonna get to a point where I can't move it at all. And on top of that, my left hand is gonna start swelling up. So, you know, the last 4 days or so have it's basically been me, well, last five, it's basically been for me to really just take some time off to give my arm a rest. And I'm still waiting for physical therapy to be approved because I had my assessment on March 2nd. It's March 19th, so it's been some 2.5 weeks now, and no word from the occupational physical therapy office. I always get those mixed up. But yeah, that's basically why I've been gone the last week or so. But what causes bronchial neuritis? In bronchial neuritis, pain, loss of function, and other damage occurs in the bronchial plexus, the bundle of nerves that travels from the spinal cord to the chest, shoulder, arms, and hands. What is going on? Okay. Damn. Cause of bronchial neuritis is unknown. In some instances, the symptoms of bronchial neuritis seem to be related to another illness or injury. At times, however, the pain and weakness associated with the disease occur without any explanation. So, going back to the second time I had to go into physical therapy, so January, and after that second, what's the word? I'm thinking of the word. After the second round of physical therapy, I stopped going to the gym because I didn't want to do anything to exacerbate the problem. So when I started having issues with the shoulder in May, I hadn't been to the gym in about a month, a month at the very least. I hadn't worked out since at least March. So it couldn't have been from working out. And so why this started, I'm not sure, to be totally honest. But let's check out the symptoms. So severe pain in the upper arm or shoulder, which I've dealt with. Pain usually affecting just one side of the body, the left side. After a few hours or days, the pain transitions to weakness, limpness, or paralysis in the muscles or the affected arm or the shoulder. That third part is what I've dealt with the most since this really started. So, and I still haven't exactly figured out why. So, it's been a struggle, but let's keep going. Lack of muscle control in the shoulder or arm. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I basically can't lift anything outside of a paper bag with this arm. Lack of sensation or feeling in the shoulder or arm. There have been times where my arm has started to go numb, or there's tingling in the fingers, so it's affected the entire arm. How is bronchial neuritis diagnosed? If any of the symptoms are noted, the locations of the symptoms in the chest, shoulder, upper back, or upper arm area is an indication that bronchial neuritis is the cause. So the area where I've dealt with the problem the most, it's not slap my shoulder. So, shoulder. I guess couldn't tell if I've had problems with the chest, but my left chest kind of feels fine. I mean, I feel something like, I definitely feel a strain about here, but in terms of like just the general chest area, I I haven't had any problems with it. But how I really discovered what I'm dealing with, diagnosis wise, I've been seeing a shoulder specialist. So he's the one that basically put me on to bronchial neuritis and what I'm dealing with. So, and I gotta go see him again after physical therapy, but that's after about 6 to 8 weeks, which unfortunately I haven't been approved for. So this could push, if not into mid to late April, May probably. So a full year since I've started dealing with this. How is bronchial neuritis treated? In some cases, acute bronchial neuritis will resolve on its own over time. Your healthcare provider may give you some corticosteroids for the pain in the meantime, which I did have to take once a day with food. If the bronchial neuritis is the result of an injury and surgery can be done in a timely fashion, and surgery might be used to repair the nerves of the bronchial plexus region. So there was a point in time, say about December, January, where I was dead set on getting surgery. Now, that feeling has calmed down over the last month or so, but with the way my arm feels now, I don't know. Like I'm kind of stuck for real. Like that's just the biggest thing. But can bronchial neuritis be prevented? Experts don't know how to prevent bronchial neuritis. Best thing you can do is to avoid arm and shoulder injuries. But in a lot of cases, the cause of bronchial neuritis is unknown, and there is little you can do to prevent it. Living with bronchial neuritis. In many cases, bronchial neuritis will resolve on its own after a few months. I'm damn near a year into it. The best thing you can do is be patient and follow the instructions of your healthcare provider to manage the severe pain of bronchial neuritis. Avoiding cigarettes and alcohol. I don't drink or smoke. Eating a healthy diet. I could definitely use work in that regard. And getting regular exercises can help with many with various types of peripheral neuropathy, and bronchial neuritis is no exception. In many cases, working with a physical therapist can help improve the condition. Relaxation techniques such as yoga may also help ease emotional and physical symptoms by helping you relieve stress naturally. I've gotten into some yoga a little bit. It's taking time, but it's helped with some stress. Key points. Bronchial neuritis is a fairly rare condition that causes pain and loss of muscle control in your shoulder and arm. Medicines and therapy can help reduce the pain and improve the condition. So I had to take a steroid at one point, and then after that, I had to start another medication that I have to take 3 times a day with food. So I ate this morning, took the meds, probably gonna have to take it again with lunch and dinner. So definitely making sure I take that on time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what I've been dealing with for the better part of almost a year now. And it's gotten in the way of streaming time and what I want to do. A lot of what I like to do, going to the gym, um, working, photography, it it it's taken a hit because it trying to do things with one arm is not exactly, you know, conducive. No, that's not the word I'm thinking of. It's not something that anybody looks forward to. And thankfully, it's not my right arm, however, because with my right arm, I probably wouldn't be able to do shit. But again, this is what I've been dealing with, and this is the biggest reason why I haven't really streamed at all since March 12th. So that is pretty much it for this part of the stream. And I'm gonna come back in a bit of yeah, I'm gonna come back in a little bit with some thoughts about what's been happening with Gran Turismo 7 over the last 3-4 days, especially since it hasn't even been a month since the game dropped. So I will be right back.